Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Netto. It is Saturday, and it's an important day. We have a fast main track, and we have the Tapeta surface, and the reason it's important, mandatory payout in the Rainbow Six.
Go time today, right? So, we're expecting $2-3 million in the pool. I always bet the over on that. I'd like to think we can get $3 million in there. We'll see. Here we go here, over $2 million. Race 6 through 11, we both got tickets. It's a fun sequence because I do think there's horses you can lean on, and then there's races where they could go any number of different ways. So I'm excited to see your ticket, and I got one as well. And I'm going to get active and get involved in this sequence today. I like it.
I'm going to straighten my tie up. What'd you say? No. First race today.
You got here at 7:15 this morning. You didn't pick up on that?
I know. I just saw it was not crooked. Sorry about that. First race is going to be a mile and the 16th on the all-weather Tapeta. The about distance, Maiden Claim is 3 and up, 12.5. And Brian put a ticket together, scratched the 4, still a full field of 11 to kick off the early pick 5.
And I'd like to think I'll be alive, 5 deep here. 4 deep in race 2. I got to be honest with you. I wanted to use the 4 and I wanted to use the 6 as well, but I'm not going to give out a $60 ticket. That's a little bit too much. Here's the singles in race 3, number 5, Telephone Talker. The 4 deep in race 4 with number 9, Ready on the Line on top. And we'll go to another single in race 5. That is Live is Life, Jorge Delgado, Chantel Sutherland. Second time I like that debut behind Cajun Hope.
Son of West Coast,
yes.
That horse is getting to this first race. The current 5-2 favorite in this wide open affair. One of the horses that Brian did use on his ticket. The number 1 Warp Speed Baby is where I went. And this one is making his first start since finishing second. And that was in front of a trio of next out winners at this level and distance. Albeit, this was a way back in last October. Ralph Nix has the son of High Cotton working consistently for the return. And, I'm a key race guy, but I usually don't go with key races after it's 10 months, but I just thought in this wide open affair this would be a major player. One of the horses you had some interest in.
Absolutely. There's a lot of key horses coming out of those races. I mean, you see all the italics in your form, a lot of next out winners. I'd like to see Lionel get aboard for Ralph. He's not a guy that's going to ride that much for Ralph Nix, but Ralph recognizes the hot hand. We're down inside. We can save all the ground. 24% in maiden claimers. Okay, the layoff is a little worrisome, but not in for the tag, taking advantage of that, Ronnie, and just a fresh new face in a race where, I don't know.
You went with the number 5 in here, Follow QTR, and this one from Steve Gwaskin's barn hasn't been seen since Gulfstream Park West.
You don't see GPW in your form too much. We'll see. You kind of flexed your muscles yesterday with the long shot, Steve Dwoskin, that was at 5-2. I don't think we're getting 6-1 on Follow QTR either. We'll see what happens come post. And listen, I don't have any idea how this horse is going to run. As you said, GPW's in the form. We're a maiden special weight dropper in for 12.5 today. You're doing it with the 1. I'm doing it with the 5. Give me a horse we haven't kind of seen a lot of.
And Miguel Vasquez riding that horse up there right now at 7-1. And that was a key angle yesterday when I pointed that out. And the horse, didn't figure that much in the first race and won him 7-1.
Yeah,
with Miguel on it.
Sorry, Ron. Quite honestly, I do not want to see this horse at 7-1 by post time.
The number 3, Freddie's Music, his wheels back after taking a major step, I thought, in the right direction when he rallied to finish second. Now, he was 25-1 that day at this mile in the 16th distance. It was on the Tapeta, David Forbes, Jesus Rios returning. Now, this is a lightly raced 4-year-old in this race. So I thought maybe this horse, sitting up there at 5-1 can run well.
Yeah, you're not getting 15 on this horse, by the way. That's how early it is in the betting. This horse looks like about 4-1 in here. He's rock solid, especially against this group, as Ronnie kind of alluded to. Lightly raced and moving forward. You could argue he's the horse to beat.
Just by our analysis right there, you could see why Brian went deep in that race. It's a wide open affair. Race number 2 this afternoon, 6 furlongs, maiden claiming filly, 2-year-olds, $25,000. Scratch the number 7 in here, Britty. We both went with the number 5, Poetic Union, who is a daughter of Union Rags, debuting for Armando de la Cerda. Steady morning work tab showing right here over the Gulfstream main track.
Yeah, I mean, the barn's not necessarily known as a barn that's going to crack at first asking, but here's Edgar Perez. I think that's a great sign that he gets aboard. And you know what? The horses we've seen in the afternoon haven't really done a lot to kind of distinguish themselves. As I alluded to at the start, I wanted to go 6 deep in here. That's the type of race it is. Ron, I'll just take a fresh new face. It seems to have some intent. Small sample, 3 for 10 when Edgar rides for this barn.
Number 10, Cozy's an Arendelle homebred daughter of brethren debuting for Carlos David, looking to carve out a trip against a field that's, replete with first-time starters, mostly first-time starters. But I found this stat. It's a cautionary stat with Carlos Davis. With his 2-year-old first-time starters, maiden claimers, 3 for 21, 14%, 43% of the money, but $5 return of investment. So there was a bomb ski in there somewhere.
Somebody blew it up, right?
Yeah.
And this stat kind of makes sense because I believe off the top of my head, Carlos is like 36% second out maiden.
Right.
So you get a little tightener today. Somehow in a wide open race, we got the same try in here.
Yeah, it's amazing when that happens. Race number 3 this afternoon, about 1 mile 70 yards on the Topita. Claim is 3 or 4 and up, non-winners of 3 in life, or race since February 13th. So triple conditions here. You're single, take it away. It's telephone talk, or one of your singles, I should say.
I mean, he's got that race 2 back, and admittedly 2 back was in December, okay? And then he's in for 35. There are a few flags here. I understand it all, but he's going to lap this field if he runs back to that race. Clearly something went amiss in the handicap for 70,000, but Wolf Steinagos was so good that day. He actually wired that field and was dueling on the lead. It's a class drop. And you know what? Sappy's a guy that's going to put them where they're going to run, and maybe that's just this spot for this horse now, a 5-year-old now off that long layoff.
Very important when you read the conditions to this race. Not only is it, 4 and up, non-winners of 3, or race since February 13th, because Timmy M, the one, fits these conditions perfectly. It's a horse is a 5-time winner who's had 8 starts, 2 wins, 4 seconds, and a third on the Topita surface. Tries these dated claimers after rallying to finish second against optional claimers going miles 70 yards. Louis Ramirez spots the gelding. I think absolutely perfect. I was torn between putting the 1 and the 5 on the ticket. I put the 5 for all the reasons you mentioned.
Yeah, I could see it. My only, nitpick on Timmy M last time was he got the setup of the meet where he was behind 2 duelers and he still couldn't pass one of the horses that was dueling the entire way around. With that being said, if Telephone Talker, for whatever reason, isn't ready to fire his shot today, Timmy M's the one to me, too.
And I got to mention, I was trying to beat all these horses with Peter D, my long shot today for Jose D'Angelo, and scratched out of there. So, but I think Telephone Talker, major player this afternoon. Race number 4 on the fast main track once again, 5.5 furlongs, maiden claiming 2-year-olds, $16,000, full field of 10. This is one tough one to figure out, and we actually have our exacta flip-flop in here. We'll start with the number 9 horse you have on top, Reading on the Line, who's the son of Field Commission debuting for Jorge Delgado. Now I'll show you a stat. Jorge, with his 2-year-old first-time starters, these are maiden claimers. He's 5 for 15, 33%, 47% the money. 209 is the return of investment.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big stat right there for a barn that does everything very well, but this takes it up a notch, and Chantel's here. I think that's a positive, too. Typically going to ride first call for this barn. Some of these works stand out, especially that July 15th one right over this main track here, and I like being outside in these types of races as well. And again, the dark kind of landed here on a race where if you're getting involved in this early pick 5, it's a spread race to me, Ron.
And like I said, I just flip-flopped the top 2 selections. Grand Pick is the son of winner Sire Cajun Breeze, debuting for Victor Barboza Jr. He's 24% with his debut maiden claimers, so I'm playing the percentages. Sonny Leon will be in the saddle today. I know you had a video on the 8-horse in here, Rockland Express.
We've talked about this kind of thing in the past. They're off, you lose. Let's take a look at the head-on here. Number 2, but down inside, and I think that's important as well. And there's, after the start, the race is over. Here we go. We're going to try to take a left-hand turn and almost hit the rail here, and you're spotting a key ground early on. Now all of a sudden you can see him under there, under the hard chase early on, and from there it was kind of, all right, he did pass the horse late. I give him a little credit for that. We're thinking outside the box here in a race that might be a spread. I was going to put him in there.
And the number 3 we both had some interest in because of the connections. That's Carabinero, a gelded son of Neolithic, debuting for Jose D'Angelo. A consistent morning work tab showing up at our training facility at Palm Meadows. And you're getting Edgar Zayas in the saddle, who had a couple of wins yesterday.
Yeah, he did, and he's just been in such good form. And Jose has been riding a lot of different riders of late. The fact that Edgar lands here, I said, you know what, I think we need to take note there.
Let's go to race number 5 this afternoon, and this is a 7-furlong sprint on the fast main track. Maiden special weight 2-year-olds. Scratch the 7, make them tap, and the number 9, don't answer. Let's start it off with your horse, and here was another single on your early pick 5 ticket. That is the number 5, Live Is Life, who's stretching out today.
got some experience on debut. And of all the runners that have run, I thought this son of West Coast ran by far the best of all of them. Was bet a little bit that day, 9-2 in a 10-horse field. Broke from the 9-hole. It's Jorge Delgado, Chantel Sutherland, big percentages with the 2-year-olds. I like what we saw behind Cajun Hope at first asking. I think if we move forward here today, the firsters better be ready to roll. And I'm not quite sure, Ron, how they're ready today.
Yeah, you know, I went with the number 2 horse in here. Peregrino G is a beautiful St. George stable, homebred son of Curlin. Every Curlin up at the Saratoga sale.
Yeah.
Sold for $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. Debuting for Fausto Gutierrez. String of stamina tweaking, 4 and 5 furlong workouts showing. You mentioned this a lot. I mentioned a lot. He's really not known to have him cranked up, but he is winning races here. I'm talking about Fausto Gutierrez at a 32% clip, and you get Edgar Perez in the saddle. So once again, I'm looking for, you know, a wide open race. I'm going to go with a beautifully bred horse in here.
3 straight 5 furlong works, which I like you said, Ron. There's a lot of stamina in the morning here. The other thing, too, Edgar doesn't ride a lot for Fausto. 5 mounts with Fausto Gutierrez. 4 of them have been visited the winner's circle.
Wow.
A big pedigree here. The other thing, too, to note on this horse, 7 furlongs is probably out of a Giants Causeway mare, too. Ron mentioned the Curlin. 7 furlongs is probably just getting this horse started. But I think today that's a good thing because some of these 2-year-olds might struggle with this trip a little bit.
And what about the 8 Congruent?
Well, he ran okay. I mean, he broke from the outside on debut, took a little bit of money. He was further back behind Live Is Life. I expect him to run well. I expect him to move forward. Edgard sticks around the blinkers for a little more early focus. Can we turn the tables and make up almost 4 1/4 lengths on Live His Life? Maybe that's a little bit much to ask today.
The number 6 Dream Night, just real quick before we take a break, is the son of Florida Derby winner, Always Dreaming, debuting for Safi Joseph Jr. 16% with his first-time starters, but 24% overall with his 2-year-old runners.
Yeah, I mean, son of Always Dreaming, who we certainly know down here in South Florida. We'll see what we get today. The works are plenty. I don't necessarily know if they whisper ready, but Sappy's picked it up, about the last 3 weeks with his firster, so take note of that.
We'll take a short break. When we come back, a mandatory payout. We'll show both mine and Brian's Pick 6 tickets.
We're ready for the start. They're off.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Ron and Brian, race number 6, 5.5 furlongs, fast main track claimers, 3 or 4 and up, non-winners of 2, scratch the 1 Geoscience. Both Brian and I put a ticket together. Let's check out Brian's Rainbow 6 Day on mandatory payout day.
I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off right away, Ron, and we'll single here. And then here are 2 crazy deep spreads in the 7th and the 8th. Number 2, Lights of Broadway on top in race 7. Number 2, Starship Wizard on top in race 8. Back-to-back singles. I'll figure it out as my best bet of the day. I thought Pudding was a borderline single anyway. Now with Dean Delivers coming out, he's a lead pipe single to me. And then I'm going to try, knock on wood, Ronnie, hopefully be alive in race 11, and I'll throw a blanket over it if I can be fortunate enough to get there. My long shot's in there. No Name Maybe, number 2.
That's the first time I ever saw dashes in somebody's Rainbow 6 tickets. So he comes up with these unique tickets, $58.80. Now we'll go to mine in here. And I used your horse, but I used other horses. We'll talk about the 6th in a moment. I like Negligence in there. 3 deep in race number 7. Race number 8, I just thought, the 2 horses I can use in here. I think I sent the wrong number. It should be 1 and 4 up there in race number 8. I have to change that. No, I think, yeah, that's it. I have to change that. And then race number 9, 3 deep in there. In that race, I went putting, but I got some interest in Real Talk. 3 deep in race number 11 this afternoon. So mine, $64.80.
You beat me by just a little bit. We just showed 2 vastly different tickets, but I think it's that kind of sequence. You know, you can take stands in the sequence, and then as we're going to get to in race 7 and race 8, you can try to really get expansive and hope to cover any kookiness, any chaos in there. So I'm looking forward to it, Ron. I think it's going to be a big pool, and we'll just have to see how it shakes out.
Oriental Park is where you started, and I think you want to show a video of this horse. He's the number 8 this afternoon.
I mean, to me, he's just better than these horses. And we'll take a look at it last time, how good he ran, too, because here's your finishing order here, okay? He's the 5 horse. Your finishing order 9, 5, 2. And the 9 is watching it all unfold. The 2 is, saving ground down inside. Well, here's Oriental Park. He's forced to make first run on 2 horses, the 1 and the 8, who are not around at the finish. I thought this was a big effort. You know, if you're a figure player, if you're not, he's just, to me, his last 2 races, Ron, just better than this group. And I feel like whoever else you might have in here, you're going to go negligence. I think they have to get to his level.
Yeah, so, he's 8 to 5 in the morning line, and you make a lot of great points. I did go with Negligence in here, who I think is going to run. But here you see, Oriental Park, the number 5, just game and going between horses there. So pretty nice performance by this horse. And, just gets, nicked a little bit at the wire there.
Maybe he regresses off of it, but still, I think he can and still win.
Well, I did go with Negligence, who's currently 8 to 1 on the morning line. Is dropping to the 12-5 level on the main track again after following their 3rd place finish. That was behind that repeat winner, Democracy. That was on the dirt, 2 starts back. Poor showing against 35 starter optional claimers going 5.5. Scott Acker, leading jock Miguel Vasquez, handling both the drop down and the surface switch today. Oriental Park for all the reasons you mentioned. Then I got some interest, and we both did. Another horse I used on my ticket, and that's Dirt Road Dollars, who goes to the Monica McGoey barn after the claim, goes back to the main track today. Had both trouble early and late when finishing 4th behind a repeat winner last time out in Mailbox Money. Looks a lot of horses that have come out of that Mailbox Money race have run well. Yeah. That was going 5 on the Tapeta. But look at the workout, 47 flat, the best time of 97 horses at the distance.
I will have 2 Sabre tickets, and they will both have the 2 and the 9 on there. I'll tell you what, if one of these 3 horses don't win, I will not be alive anymore. And you make a good point with Dirt Road Dollars. He's slow on paper, but that work sticks out like a sore thumb. Maybe Monica's got something working there.
Race number 7 this afternoon is about a mile 70 yards on the Tapeta. Maiden special weight 2-year-olds. Wow, this is a tough one with 10 horses of 2-year-olds going there. I went to the inside with Coal Miner's Kitten, who's the son of Kitten's Joy, debuting for Saffie Joseph Jr. We mentioned the stats he does, but he's 24% with his Tapeta runners overall. Edgar Zayas, Ken and Sarah Ramsey homebred. Inside post. Going to be a little tough for this horse today.
Take a look. We get lucky here that obviously the Rainbow starts in race 6. Look at the double will pace to see who's live. This is a race where horses are supposed to be taking money. This horse I have in 2nd. We're down inside. We save all the ground. 4th full out of a 1-for-4 dam is a half the Speedy Solution, who was okay. Earned about $175,000. Broke his maiden in his 2nd start. Sappy, as we mentioned, you cranked it up with these first-time starters a little bit. Edgard is here. That's a positive. You can't leave this horse out.
You went with the number 2, Lights of Broadway, first-time starter from Mark Casse, $250, $1,000 son of City of Light.
Yeah, so here's the thing I like about this horse. They bought this horse at auction, whereas the 1, Coal Miner's Kitten, and the 3, the other Casse, Universal Hero, those are homebred. So, you're not necessarily sure what you're going to get from them. We know they bought this horse for $250,000. They liked what they saw. Big female family, Ronnie. The dam just won for 10, but kin to 3 horses that earned up between 378 and 645. We've got Dialed In way back in this pedigree. We've got Eliza, Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies winner way back in this pedigree. Lights of Broadway should be able to run a little bit.
I have some interest in the number 8 horse, and Tis a Duke, who's 10 to 1 on the morning line. It's wheeling back after chasing a much the best winner, Maximo, when finishing a distant 2nd. But what it was at this mile 70-yard distance on the all-weather. So I'm looking for a little experience with horses running around 2 turns. Ran into a buzzsaw, Mike Yates, Jose Morelos. son of Tiznow. So my thought was, if I can get a little bit of a price, a horse that I know sort of can handle the distance. He got beat by a horse by 10 lengths, so it wasn't that he just got, beat a nose or anything. But I went with that because of that reasoning.
I think it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
I mean, there's two horses that have run at this distance. One of them was Ensign Skip, was comfortably behind Tizaduke. I think it's a huge angle, a huge deal. This horse is going to be a price, and we've talked about it time and time again. Winning on debut at 2 turns is a lot easier said than done. You get a huge edge with Tizaduke.
One other horse I want to mention, the number 9, Shay on the Lamb, is the son of Uncaptured and a full brother to $600,000 earner Miss Oromet, debuting for Carlos David. A couple of sharp 5-furlong workouts showing. And it's an ambitious 2-turn debut with a lot of horses in there. Here's our leading rider, Miguel Vasquez. This horse has any of that Miss Oromet, and it could be very dangerous, albeit that the distance is a concern.
I had no idea what to make of this horse because I don't think Miss Oromet ever ran past 6
That's what I'm
furlongs,
saying.
let alone 2 turns. It's a weird spot, and Carlos David we trust, and he's pretty darn good too. So I think you have to take that for what it's worth, because this horse does bring a big pedigree to the table today.
Race number 8 this afternoon, about 1.16 on the Tapeta. Claim is 3 or 4 and up. Non-winners of 2 in life. 12-5 down to 10. Another big field for the Rainbow Six here with 9 runners in. I went to the inside horse with Silent Chaos, who's the only multiple winner in the field, is dropping to the 12-5 level, showing early interest in fading against much better in back-to-back route races on the all-weather Tapeta from Mark Cassie, and he's got his go-to jock, Edwin Gonzalez, returning on this over-analyzed gelding. So I'm going with the old multiple winner angle. It's worked for me numerous times over the last couple of weeks.
Especially since we write these races now, 3-year-olds are 4 and up with the condition, and we've talked about it a lot, and it's a big deal. The class drop has got to play here. Now, this horse hasn't done any running in his last 2 starts. That's a little bit of an issue to me, but I've got him in second. I think you have to use him, Ron, in what is a spread race, and he brings that second win to the table, which is, like you said, more than anyone else can claim here.
The number 2 Starship Wizard, Cesar Figueroa. Of course, we know that he's, 6 for 19 at the meeting.
Yeah, you have to use this horse. I don't think he's going to be anywhere near 8 to 1, because I look at that maiden claiming win 2 back, and then off the claim, we know how good Caesar's been. He raises him up to 20 facing winners. He didn't run terribly, but that's probably not what he wants to do at that level. Now he's back today. He's still not giving him away. He's in for 12-5. He's not in at the bottom. I expect an effort closer to the run 2 back. And if we get there, that gives him a big chance.
The number 4, My Man Flint, is stretching out slightly, rallied to finish second against this level, going 1.70. That was my key. Proven commodity around 2 turns. It's Rohan Crichton, Jesus Rios in the saddle.
Yeah, there's no way you're playing a rainbow without this horse, without Rohan in here, because he's got really, really solid overall form.
Yeah, he's actually the morning only favorite today. Let's go to race number 9 this afternoon. We're back on the fast main track. 6 1/2 furlongs. Claim is 3 or 4 and up. Non-winners of 2 in life. 35 down to 25,000. Scratch the 3. Red Hurricane and the 4. Proud Contender. And who'd you go with here? The number 2. I'll figure it out. I think you have a video for this.
That's my best bet of the day right here. I'll figure it out. The number 2 horse, and we've got a video of. I'll figure it out. Full disclosure, and Caminero. Good work here, Bob. Thank you. So here is, I'll figure it out, is the 8. And obviously they're all in here. And I just thought this was the good effort, Ron. I thought that he kind of had to work pretty hard to get up there, and just missed, and the winner was pretty solid, and he's making first run. I understand the winner is like 40 to 1. I get that, but I mean, to me, it's another one. Now, provided, okay, I want a fast main track today, and we got to keep an eye on the weather, obviously. On dry land, on a fast main track, this is the horse I want out of here. He's my best bet of the day, and I think. Again, on a fast track, his fast dirt races are just better than these. Look at that race back in March, the only other one on his page, Ron, and he gets run down here after making first run by a swooper in here. He's got 2 races on a dry track that I'm looking at. One of them was third to Yes, I'm a Beast and Pacos Pico. They came right back to win. The other one was last time. Keep the reins away. Give me this horse as a single.
I'm glad you showed that video, because the horse I had in top, full disclosure, was the one set in the pace in there. I just think he's a candidate today for a rebound performance because he's changing barns, going to the Elizabeth Dobles barn after the claim. The 2-time winner, let me show you a stat, first of all, on Elizabeth Dobles. First after the claim, sprints on the dirt. She's 11 for 35. 31%, 46% in the money with a positive return of investment. You know, I just thought, you know, turning back a little bit to 6.5, Darbon, good with new claims. Miguel Vasquez here, the old bounce rebound angle for me this afternoon. So I'm going to throw this one on top of my ticket. I don't know what she's 5-1 in the morning line.
Yeah,
so.
this horse is dangerous if we get back to it. I was worried. The other reason I like I'll Figure It Out so much, there seems to be a lot of speed in here. Now, Miguel is, you know, our leading rider for many reasons. One of them is he can get horses to settle and not get involved in that kind of stuff. Speed to the inside, speed to the outside. We'll see what Full Disclosure does today because he's typically, Ron, one way to go, and that's to the front.
And the other horse from Elizabeth Dobles is the horse you have in second, number 9, Poseidon's Son, is another one turning back to 6.5 furlongs. Now, he went up, he stalked the pace, and he finished 4th. That was against 35 starter optional claimers going 7/8 of a mile. Chantal Sutherland's going to ride this half of that uncoupled entry.
Yeah, and she's in a good spot here because I think she can settle just a little bit off the speed, and I think that's going to be key, to be outside of it all a little bit. You know, maybe a little bit of a drop in here as well.
The number 1, Caminero, is turning back to the 6.5 furlongs. I get a break from the rail today after disputing the early pace. Actually got the lead in that race and drifted late when finishing 3rd, going 7 furlongs. Safi, Edgar Zayas handling usually fruitful 3rd start back of the current form cycle. Lots of things to like with this horse. He's one of these when you say, well, maybe I'll fade this horse a little bit, and Safi wins.
Tough spot down there. Yeah, I agree with that. Tough spot down there inside, though, especially with all the other speed to his outside.
Let's go to race number 10, the feature race of the afternoon. 7 furlongs, state-bred 3-year-olds and up, $65,000. A big, big scratch this morning with the number 6, Dean Delivers, who you could have either had on top or a second, certainly on your ticket when you were putting the Rainbow 6 ticket together. I had that horse on top. I know you had Pudding on top all along. 4-time winner at the distance.
Yeah, and, you know, I think he's going to be a really heavy favorite in here. We'll take a look at his race last time when he was second to Willie Boy, who went up and finished 3rd in a Grade 1. And, you know, I thought this was a really, really big effort here by Pudding, and he's another horse now, okay, and he's the 5 horse here. And, you know, he just couldn't get the Willie Boy, but there's no disgrace in that because, you know, Willie Boy's the best sprinter we have down here, and now Willie Boy's taking his act up to Saratoga to be 3rd in a Grade 1. And here he is coming into the picture. So he's spotting ground to everybody in here. And I thought this was a really, really big effort, Ron. And he made Willie Boy run a little bit here as well. And what I like about Pudding, too, and again, he's another weather horse. I talked about this earlier. On a fast main track, you know, Pudding is just better than these horses. And I think, you know, Absolute Grit, I guess, is the other horse in here who I'm a total fade against him today. His only real positive race is in the slop. And on a fast main track, you know, Pudding drilled him convincingly last time. And, you know, I think we're going to get a fast main track today. Well, it remains to be seen. Summer in South Florida, but I just thought Pudding was the one out of here. And you know, I thought he was a borderline single with Dean Delivers, and he's a definite single without him.
Sorry, Brian. Absolute Grit. 2 good races, 2 to back, but they were both on sealed, sloppy tracks.
Exactly.
So comes back, gets beat almost 4 lengths. And what I love about Pudding now, especially with Dean Delivers out, is this is a 4-time winner at the distance. If you listen to my analysis all the time, I love horses that run well at 7 furlongs. And you mentioned all the reasons, you know, it's second to Willie Boy, and I just think he's the one to beat. Yeah. I got some interest in the number 1 horse in here, and that is Real Talk. Stretching out the additional furlong after rallying to finish second, was beaten ahead against 62,500 optional claimers going 3/4 of a mile. I just think this horse's figs, especially with Dean's Delivers out, that this horse can be a factor. And I didn't want to get beat by him, so I put him on my Rainbow 6 ticket. Probably Absolute Grit will be the second choice in there, but I think Real Talk, 12-1 on the line. Here's where I want to try and knock maybe some people out.
Yeah.
If Pudding doesn't run his race, I think this horse maybe is worth a little bit of a flyer.
This horse ran huge last time. The pace absolutely fell apart. He made first run into it. The winner scooted up the rail and just beat him. Real Talk probably gets run off his feet a little bit today, which I think is a good thing for him. He can settle a little bit. I'm agreeing with you. I'm kind of doing the same thing with Chivalry, but Real Talk comes in with a big, big effort last time. It seems like Joe's got him better than ever off the claim.
Yeah, you're talking about Chivalry. We haven't seen him since June, but he had the unfortunate follow to run with Hot Blooded
Yeah.
last time. It turned out to be a really nice horse.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we haven't seen Shivery since June. We haven't seen the real Shivery in quite a while. Listen, I readily admit that. Another horse though gets run off his feet. The pace is going to be hellacious in here. We know how fast King Cab is. He's going to fly early. I don't think Shivery can win this race, but you know what he can do? He can pass a lot of horses that maybe get zapped chasing the speed of King Cab.
Yeah, so Dean delivers out of race number 10 when you're putting your Rainbow Six tickets together, or your late pick 5 ticket. Brian will have one a little later on. Race number 11 this afternoon, about 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. Claim is 3 and up, $10,000. Oh, we got the Rainbow Six. Let's have an 11-horse field in the final leg of it to make it that much more interesting. We'll start with your horse in here, the number 2, No Nay Maybe.
Well, the good. By the way, if you're a Dean Delivers fan, you can see him tomorrow because he is going to run this weekend in that race tomorrow. No Nay Maybe is my long shot play. Well, we got the replay here, right? Zamfir, Earth, and No Nay Maybe all come out of the same race, okay? And it's Zamfir, Earth, and No Nay. That's our order. I thought he maybe was. He didn't get helped by enough pace in here. I think it's going to be quicker today. They went 46 in 2, going 5.5 on the Tapeta. That's not very fast. Hopefully they go quicker today. It's a spread race, Ron, clearly. He's a price. He's not that far off whoever the favorite is in here. Here he is coming into your picture now, spotting way too much ground to these horses, swooping wide. I thought he ran very, very well, all things considered. More pace today. Maybe we save a little more ground. We don't have to tip 8 deep. Take a shot at a big number in a race where, boy, if you're alive here, it's going to be tough to be too narrow in here.
Mario Fuentes will be in the saddle for Mauricio Fuentes. And there you can see close. He was 8 wide for sure. You can count the 7 horses where 2 is inside. I did go with the number 7 in here, Frenchman Street, who's dropping back to the 10 level. Stepped up off the claim by Jennifer Young and finished okay second against those 16 starter optional claimers, going 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. Luca Panici rides. I just thought this was a good spot. I think this one's going to track the pace in here today and run well.
He's like the male version of your Isabella Aida, right?
I always use this horse, so.
I like him too. I got him in second. He's a cool horse. He's an easy dude to root for. 7 years old, and he just keeps on keeping on. I like him too.
And Zamfir was in that race. You showed moose to the Angel Rodriguez barn after the claim posted his 2nd consecutive victory when he defeated those 10 claimers, going 5.5 on the Tapeta. So he's in good form. Marcos Meneses in the saddle.
Can't leave him out off the claim for Frank Calabrese too, so you take a little bit extra note there. 2 in a row. He's won, by the way.
Yeah, and you look at Earth, another horse I threw down, is hoping to find Moist Stretch Drive. He rallied 5 wide to finish second. He was in that race with your horses, I believe, last time out. Jenna Antonucci, Jose Morelos, gelded son of Orb.
Earth.
Orb, Earth.
There you go.
That's it for the 11. Now we have our lightning round, and of course, we've been telling you ad nauseum that the mandatory payout is today, Saturday.
Race 6, we just went over our tickets. We'll have them online. We'll talk about them later. We did some videos as well. I'm saying $3 million, but we'll see what comes up with. It's a really fun, good sequence, Ronnie.
And you know what else? If it's Saturday, we have our exciting XP Rewards contest.
12:01 in the p.m. and we haven't mentioned the contest yet. That's a world record, by the way, too. You got to sign up in Silks by 4:40 in the p.m. Last 3 races at Saratoga, last 3 races at Gulfstream Park. You got to pick the winner, and I'll tell you what, you got to sign up too, because at the end, Labor Day Saturday, the top 50 players are going to play for $5,000. So get involved.
Yeah, and I think there was only 2 winners last week, and they split the 2,500 or whatever it was in there. So very, very fun contest, as you said. Just the last 3 at Gulfstream, the last 3 at Saratoga. 4:40 is the deadline, and it's very good to be XB Rewards member. Best bet long shot, take them over. I lost both of them.
Oh, that's right. I'll figure it out in race 9. I guess it's probably an aggressive best bet, and it's an aggressive single in the rainbow, and then to get out, knock on wood, I'm still alive, knock on wood, you're still alive, and you're still alive. No Nay Maybe, number 2 at 12-1 on the morning line.
Yeah, I like that video you showed. I like that horse. I might have to go back and put him on my D ticket, ABC D ticket. We'll see how that plays out. Hey, Miguel Vasquez. He just keeps winning races.
Well, I got to hit you in the head with a board. I mean, there's a reason why he pads his lead every Friday when we pop up here. And, you know, he just wins with everything, and he does it in the right way. Here's Uncle B out finishing the field. Oh, by the way, he can finish better than anybody or as good as anybody, putting the horses in the right spots and putting 4 on the board on a 9-race Friday card.
Yeah, he's doing an excellent job. Boy, he's got it. He's doing it real good. I think he's got. I'm not going to say he's got it sewn up for this meet, but I think so.
You want me to say it?
Yeah, you could say it.
I think he's about 22 up right now. So kudos on a job well done and a good kid, too.
About 23 minutes to first race post, but of course we're going to turn it over to Pete Aiello. He'll give you all the scratches and changes. Don't forget, lots of things to do today. Mandatory payout in the Rainbow Six and XP Rewards contest. Make sure you sign up if you're not already a member. Absolutely free.
The Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance is really the vehicle for the transition for our racehorses coming off the track into a second career and safe environment for these horses when they're done racing. I've been passionate about racehorses my whole life, animals in general, and without the TAA to provide that oversight, there would be a big void in terms of making sure that we have this ongoing safe environment for our off-the-track racehorses. I'm excited about the undertaking and excited about working with our board and our team at the TAA to continue the wonderful progress that has been made. So I'm very excited about what the future holds.